Alright, so I'm going to be going over the entire Monster Association saga in this video, and I call it a saga because it's like way too long to just be an arc in my opinion. It's essentially a collection of arcs, but it all follows just one storyline. This is basically going to be all of my One Punch Man Season 3 videos, all combined into one continuous video. So I'm doing this for 3 reasons. 1, I'm sick. 2, I've been requested to do this various times. And 3, I've been told to check out Comics Explained videos and how he makes them on arcs and then combines them. And I recently saw his Secret Wars full story video, which was great. So I thought I could do something like that with this one, while still getting content out to you guys, and for those of you who maybe haven't seen my videos on the Monster Association arc stuff yet. So let's get into it. Now this saga is going to open up with the Hero Association executives having a big meeting. They're going to be talking about the aftermath of what we saw in episode 12 of season 2, how Elder Centipede was defeated, and of course they think King had did it, and then they're also further pushing the agenda of having to save Narinki's son. We saw that he was captured in Season 2 by Elder Centipede and was put into the Monster Association. And they need to save Narinki's son because Narinki is a very important investor in the Hero Association. And it's all about money and whatnot, so yeah. But they also, have to take out the Monster Association too. So there's more than just one motivation here. Also throughout this, we're going to see them slowly organizing and putting all of the plans into order. And we're going to see the S-Class heroes come together and get some development and talk to each other about more or less what has happened in Season 2. Also, it's revealed that Drive Knight is missing. The last time we saw him in Season 2, he was looking for information on the location of the Monster Association. We're led to believe that he eventually found it, but then eventually went radio silent after that. So then we're also seeing the other side of the aftermath of the battle with Elder Centipede from the final episode, because we have the whole gang together in Saitama's apartment. We've got Saitama, King, Genos, Bang, and Bomb, and they're all kind of just having some leisure time and repairing themselves and healing and whatnot. So then Fubuki comes into the apartment, and she's more or less catching everyone up there on what's going on with the story, the Hero Association, the Monster Association, all that stuff. But she's also further hyping up Garo. And we know that Saitama is intrigued by Garo because he's the hero hunter, but he's also pissed that Garo hasn't gone after him yet, and he believes it's because he's a B-class, Caped Baldy hero. So Saitama, at this point, just decides to go out and find Garo for himself. Speaking of Garo, it cuts to him, and he's waking up in the Monster Association because we saw at the end of Season 2, he was carried away by Phoenix Man. So once he wakes up in the Monster Association, he's offered an executive position by Giro, but then he silently declines this and just decides to leave. So after that, Giro tells 2 demon-level monsters by the name of Royal Ripper and Bug God to follow him. And yes, this is the very same Royal Ripper that we saw mentioned in Season 2 in Tario's Monster Book. After leaving the Monster Association, Garo goes to some diner and dines and dashes. But coincidentally, Saitama and Fubuki are also at that diner. So while Garo is leaving, he re-encounters Tario and saves him from some bullies. After this, they reconcile because we saw that Tario was scared of Garo after he had taken down Death Gatling's crew. Then Tario goes on to say that he's sorry for running away, and he realizes that Garo had actually saved him from Death Gatling, and that he truly sees Garo as a companion of justice. Saitama then decides to chase after the Dine and Dasher, and unknowingly confronts Garo yet again, and easily defeats him for the 3rd time. Meanwhile, Royal Ripper and Bug God find Garo in the aftermath of his encounter with Saitama, and see that Tario is with him. They then try to force Garo to kill Tario to prove his allegiance to the Monster Association, but of course he's not going to do that, and he decides to fight both Royal Ripper and Bug God at the same time. During their fight, Sludge Jellyfish shows up, the same monster that we saw in Season 2 originally encountered Garo, and captures Tario. This winds up severely distracting Garo during his fight, and leads him to be defeated by Royal Ripper and Bug God. Royal Ripper then hacks up and slashes Garo so bad that he actually believes that he has killed him. Royal Ripper then takes Tario back to the Monster Association for his own sick agenda and throws him into captivity with Narinki's son. At this point, the Monster Association roster is fully revealed, and it's shown that they have many powerful demon monsters, some that we've already seen in Season 2, as well as 7 other dragon-level monster executives outside of the ones we have already seen in Goketsu and Elder Centipede. These executives are Black Sperm, yes, that's his real name, and we saw a glimpse of him in Season 2 during his brief encounter with Giro after he refused to cheer for Orochi. We also have Neon, who we also saw in Season 2, that was the cat monster, breaking the prisoners out of Puri Puri Prisoner's Smelly Lid Prison. There's also Gums, Overgrown Rover, Homeless Emperor, Fura Ugly, and the Evil Natural Water. Yes, these characters have hilarious names and some of them have hilarious appearances as well, but I can assure you that they are no joke and they are just as powerful as Goketsu and Elder Centipede, if not even stronger than them. So the Monster Association definitely has a formidable force here. Oh, and don't worry, Garo's not dead because he wakes up and it's revealed that the wounds that he received from Royal Ripper are actually healed, and it turns out that he received a significant power boost from surviving death here. This power mechanic is later explained by Giro, and it's also one of the key components in Saitama's path to power. Garo, now beyond pissed off, decides to go back to the Monster Association to raise hell and rescue Tario. Meanwhile, Child Emperor eventually finds the location of the Monster Association by navigating a drone robot through the tunnels made by Elder Centipede. With this information, the Hero Association is now ready to make their strike on the Monster Association to not only save Waganma's son by protecting their valuable asset, but also to exterminate the monster group once and for all. The main strike team consists of Child Emperor, Super Ally Darkshine, Tatsumaki, Atomic Samurai with his disciples, Pig God, Flashy Flash, Zombie Man, Puri Puri Prisoner, Amai Mask, and King. Silver Fang is excluded from this mission because the Hero Association feels that he allowed Garo to escape due to their student and master relationship and deems him untrustworthy. Genos isn't made aware of this strike team because he is being repaired by Dr. Kuseno during this. This upgrade that he receives is implied to be the strongest version of Genos we have seen so far, but even currently in the manga, we have yet to see what he is capable of. Meanwhile, Saitama, just chilling in his apartment, is bothered by loud noises and tremors caused by events within the Monster Association that I'm not going to reveal in this video, and goes by himself to investigate what is causing the noise. And he randomly enters the Monster Association by entering the sewer system near his apartment. Later, Fubuki goes to Saitama's apartment looking for him, but of course he's not there, and instead she winds up meeting up with Genos, King, Bang, and Bomb. King tells everyone the Hero Association's plans to raid the Monster Association, and then they take it upon themselves to form their own strike team. Genos, however, decides to stay behind at the apartment and wait for Saitama to return. And with this, we have all of the teams set up for the major battle of this saga. We have the Monster Association, of course, and we have the Hero Association S-Class Strike Team with the support of some A and B-Class heroes. We have the side team of King, Bang, Bomb, and Fubuki, and of course Garo by himself is down in the mix as well. And of course Saitama, who is aimlessly wandering around underground, not even aware of the battle that is about to happen. So, back at the Monster Association, Royal Ripper is about to kill Tario, who he originally abducted after he defeated Garo with the assistance of Bug God and seemingly killed him. But as we discovered, not only did Garo survive this encounter, he received a power-up as a result and returned to the Monster Association to save Tario. And he does just that, as he literally busts through the wall and immediately blows Royal Ripper apart using Bomb's Whirlwind Iron-Cutting Fist. Now back in the possession of Tario, Garo tries to escape from the Monster Association, but in the process, winds up running into one of the dragon-level executives by the name of Overgrown Rover. Slowly and carefully, the two are surprisingly able to escape Rover, revealing that the huge powerful monster appears to have a mentality similar to that of an actual dog. But in turn, this leads Garo to encountering 3 demon-level monsters. Garo is able to fend off all of these monsters, but winds up inadvertently provoking the still nearby Overgrown Rover as a result of their fight. Just one of Rover's blasts is enough to vaporize the demon-level monster, showing how incredibly powerful he really is. Now, with no choice left but to fight, Garo tells Tario to run away as he goes into battle with the executive. Garo's attacks have no effect on Rover, but to much surprise, Garo is able to survive direct hits from Rover's blasts, further showing how much he has improved since surviving his near-death encounter with Royal Ripper. What follows after this is a one-sided beatdown by Rover, which showcases his ability to spam these blasts, which completely destroy his surroundings and even cause major tremors on the surface of Z City. This is the reason why Saitama decides to investigate the underground disturbance, which I alluded to in my Season 3 Explained Part 1 video. As a result of the destruction caused by Rover, Garo winds up in the presence of Giro, who goes on to reveal their plans for Garo, which is essentially turning him into their strongest disciple via repeating the recovery from death power boost dynamic. Giro also reveals that this is how they made Orochi as powerful as he is, and also reveals that Garo has even more potential than him. Garo, of course, refuses the offer and goes on to attack Giro, who at this point is revealed to be a disaster-level dragon. After some mild struggle, Garo proves to be too much for even Giro's Esper powers, and this causes Orochi to step into the fight to save his master. This is the big reveal of Orochi's fighting abilities, and he does not disappoint as he begins to transform into a Resident Evil-esque T-Rex monster with many serpent dragon appendages, all of which are capable of firing heat beams that can even melt the architecture of the Monster Association. Despite putting up a valiant effort, Garo is easily defeated by Orochi, who was even holding back as to not kill him per the request of Giro, who still has plans of converting Garo. This is the last time we see Garo in the current story of the manga, as he went unconscious as a result of the massive one-sided beatdown. Meanwhile, the S-Class strike team arrives outside of the Monster Association's entrance and is greeted by a horde of monsters. The strike team, along with the help of the support team consisting of A and B class heroes, slaughter the small army and begin to enter the Monster Association, leaving the A and B class heroes on the surface. Now inside of the Monster Association, the S-Class heroes begin to encounter the strongest demon-level monsters of the association and fight them one by one. Flashy Flash encounters the two ninjas, Hellfire and Gale, who we saw in Season 2, give monster cells to Sonic in hopes of recruiting him to their side. It's revealed that all of the ninjas come from the same original ninja village, which Flashy Flash and Sonic come from the same class, while Hellfire and Gale come from 7 classes above them. Flashy Flash fights both of them at once, but quickly proves to be too much for the duo. The ninjas then transform into their monster forms, which we also saw in Season 2. However, it's revealed that they are disaster-level dragon in these forms. Flashy Flash is now forced to fight 2 dragon-level monsters at the same time. But even this is still not enough to take down Flashy Flash, who goes on to defeat both of them simultaneously after a mildly difficult fight. Meanwhile, Child Emperor, who was looking for Narinki's son Waganma, the Monster Association's hostage and main leverage, confronts Phoenix Man, the very same monster who saved Garo at the end of Season 2. Child Emperor easily defeats him and successfully retrieves Waganma from his cell and proceeds to escort him to the surface. However, it's revealed that Child Emperor didn't finish the job against Phoenix Man, who goes on to resurrect himself, like a phoenix, into a new form and attain disaster-level dragon. The resurrected Phoenix Man quickly proves to be too much for Child Emperor, who is forced to use his ultimate creation, in which he pilots a giant Gundam-esque mech by the name of Brave Giant. After a back-and-forth battle, Child Emperor is able to defeat Phoenix Man once more, but this leads Phoenix Man to resurrect yet again and achieve another power-up. Now in his Brilliant Eagle form, Phoenix Man has Child Emperor on the ropes, who goes on to use his ultimate move, the Millennium Emperor Nova, in which he shoots a gigantic Kamehameha-esque beam, which blows through the entire association out onto the surface and into the sky. But due to his energy absorption powers, Phoenix Man is barely able to survive even this crazy attack. After some more back and forth, Child Emperor eventually figures out how to defeat his overpowered opponent and removes his suit, finally killing him once and for all. Meanwhile, Zombie Man confronts the demon-level monster Pure Blood and eventually defeats him in an awesome back and forth battle which displays the crazy Deadpool-esque abilities of the S-Class heroes, along with a very impressive arsenal as well. Amai Mask goes on to confront the female demon-level monster Super S, who we also saw in Season 2. He quickly defeats her with no difficulty whatsoever, showing that Amai Mask is definitely on the S-Class level if there was any doubt up until this point. Puri Puri Prisoner is up to the bat as he confronts his fellow former prisoners, who were turned into monsters after eating the monster cells provided by the executive Neon in Season 2. But before he can get through to them, Neon shows up out of nowhere and attacks and almost kills Prisoner. To much surprise, Prisoner is able to survive this attack and gains a new ability and power-up during this fight. It's also revealed that Prisoner reminds Neon of his former owner when he lived his life as a normal cat before becoming a monster. This puts Neon at a psychological disadvantage against the S-Class hero, to which the Dragon Level executive retreats from their fight, leaving Prisoner to accidentally kill his former prison friends, but become more powerful as a result of their encounter. Meanwhile, Super Rally Darkshine confronts Bug God and destroys him with one blow, despite the demon level monster transforming into a seemingly more powerful form. We meet back up with Saitama, who had been aimlessly wandering around the Monster Association at this point, who by chance happens to encounter Overgrown Rover, the cause of his original noise complaint. Saitama punches Rover so hard that the resulting shockwave can be felt by everyone down below. Meanwhile, Tatsumaki confronts Giro, who uses their full power on her. This, however, is still completely ineffective against Tatsumaki, who easily and literally rips Giro apart. It's at this point revealed that Giro appears to be just a puppet being remotely controlled by the true Esper mastermind of the Monster Association hidden somewhere else. The shockwave caused by Saitama's punch on Rover alerts Orochi, who investigates what caused it. This leads to him confronting Saitama. And you guess what's going to happen after here? The two go on to have an epic fight sequence where Orochi shows his true power and his true form. Orochi shows beams that rival that of released Boros and appear to have the potential to wipe out full cities. But of course, this is still nowhere enough to defeat Saitama, who goes on to kill Orochi with a single punch through his head. And now it has come down to the S-Class heroes taking on the executives of the Monster Association. Atomic Samurai fights against Black S, which is revealed to be a targeted matchup by Giro, considering that Atomic Samurai's sword-based style is a bad matchup against Black S's multiplicity and regeneration abilities. Zombie Man fights against Homeless Emperor, who is revealed to have received his powers from a mysterious entity who calls himself God. Amai Mask fights against Fura Ugly, who is essentially the polar opposite of him, but with similar skill set. Pig God fights against Gums, who also have similar abilities. Atomic Samurai's disciples, coming off of their victory over Devil Longhair, confront the evil natural water and are nearly killed by it. Puri Prisoner finds a sleeping, chained up Garo, who wakes up and easily defeats him. Saitama randomly finds Flashy Flash and has a brief scuffle where he easily evades Flash's quick attacks. Flashy Flash then catches Saitama up with what has been going on with the Hero Association's rescue mission, as well as taking down the Monster Association once and for all, something that Saitama wasn't privy to before this point. Afterwards, Flashy Flash and Saitama decide to stick together and travel further into the Monster Association base. Elsewhere, Child Emperor successfully escorts Waganma to the surface and passes him on to the support team, then decides to return back into the Monster Association to further assist the heroes against the executives. It's at this point I'm going to be going past the current manga chapter of 120, and I'm going to be going into webcomic territory for the rest of this video. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen in the story, I suggest you check out now. Once he returns, he discovers the barely alive Atomic Samurai disciples who were defeated by the evil natural water and is forced to fight the executive by himself. Super Rally Darkshine finds Puri Prisoner, who was recently defeated by Garo. Prisoner warns Darkshine that Garo is stronger now and is dangerous for even Darkshine himself to face one-on-one. The prospect of Garo's power excites Darkshine, who decides to find him and take him out. At this point, it's revealed that Atomic Samurai, Amai Mask, Pig God, and Zombie Man have seemingly been defeated by their executive opponents. Darkshine eventually confronts Garo and is able to hit Garo with a massive attack, but this is not enough to put him down for good. Garo eventually gets the upper hand on Darkshine and forces him to mentally quit, defeating the hero. Meanwhile, the side group of Bang, Bomb, and Fubuki and Genos confront Overgrown Rover, who was recently punched by Saitama and survived. Let me also mention that Genos is not a part of this group in the manga version, as he is still at Saitama's apartment. Bang and Bomb used the Cross-Fang Dragon Slayer fist on the weakened Rover, but it's still not enough to bring him down. Bang inadvertently asks Rover to sit, and he complies, allowing the heroes to escape from him. Rover had been seemingly conditioned to sit on command after his encounter with Saitama. Meanwhile, Tatsumaki, who had been dealing with Giro Giro, pulls the meat puppet out of her, which is revealed to be nothing more than a remote. Tatsumaki then locates the true controller of Giro Giro, who is revealed to be Psychos, a fellow human Esper and former classmate of Fubuki. Tatsumaki decides to not only pull Psychos to the surface, but the entire Monster Association base, which she literally rips out of the ground, destroying a portion of Z City in the process. This also brings the heroes and the executives to the surface. It's now a full-on war with everyone together at last. Evil Natural Water and Homeless Emperor begin to bombard Tatsumaki with projectiles, to which she easily defends. But while she is distracted, Psychos comes from behind her, psychically binding her, and sends her hurling into the ground. Afterwards, she is punched in the face by Fura Ugly. This is by far the most damage Tatsumaki has ever been shown to receive, as well as the most vulnerable she has ever been. After being saved by Genos, Tatsumaki is further thrown around and beaten by Psychos' Esper abilities. Black Ass and Fura Ugly begin to team up on Genos, with Fura Ugly revealing that he has a transformation which makes him bigger. But suddenly, Silverfang appears to save him. Silverfang goes on to use his abandonment breathing technique and kills Fura Ugly and Gums with single strikes, as well as hurting Black S. This is easily one of the greatest feats in the series. Silverfang is then psychically binded by Psychos, then carpet bombed by Homeless Emperor's light spheres, seemingly defeated by this. Bomb, who is distracted by these events, is blindsided by Black S and knocked unconscious. Genos is also defeated shortly after. All hope seems lost until suddenly King appears and confronts all of the executives at once. Not even together can the executives muster the courage to attack King and are paralyzed with fear of his potential attack. This distraction buys the heroes enough time to counterattack. As Fubuki confronts Psychos, Zombie Man goes back after Homeless Emperor, and Amai Mask takes on Black S and Evil Natural Water at the same time. Zombie Man is able to overpower Homeless Emperor and forces him to tell him about the entity known as God. But before he can, God confronts Homeless Emperor seemingly in his own mind and kills him before he can confess. Fubuki, using a unique form of Esper negation, is able to defeat Psychos in a massive upset, having the B-class hero defeat the dragon-level threat. Amai Mask surprises the S-class heroes as he's able to fight equally with Black S while dodging the Evil Natural Water simultaneously, until Evil Natural Water shoots off one of Amai Mask's arms, to which he picks up and reattaches, revealing he has a special regeneration ability. Amai Mask is even able to survive being shot through the chest. Tatsumaki and Amai Mask are the only heroes currently able to fight at this time, and are able to mount an effective counterattack against Black S and Evil Natural Water. It's then revealed that Black S can merge his cells into a single being. He merges 1 trillion of his 11 trillion cells into his multi-cell form, but this is quickly defeated by Tatsumaki. Black S then merges 10 trillion of his cells into a being known as Golden S. Golden S is so fast and powerful and that he proves to be too much for even Tatsumaki and quickly defeats her. It should also be noted that Tatsumaki was already heavily injured at this point in the battle. As all hope seems to be lost, Garo re-emerges and blindsides Golden S in an impressive display of power. Garo and Golden S go on to have a Dragon Ball Z-esque fight that is so fast that it cannot be seen. During this fight, Golden S pushes Garo the furthest he has ever been pushed, which allows Garo to complete his transformation into a monster, which is dubbed Awakened Garo. Once the dust clears, Garo is seen in his new monster form, and Golden S lays dead on the ground. At this point, Awakened Garo is beyond overpowered, and without question rivals even Boros. He then, in succession, goes on to defeat every single S-Class hero left on the battlefield with ease. It's now at this point Saitama and Flashy Flash finally make their way to the surface after digging through much rubble. Flashy Flash then confronts awakened Garo, but even his amazing speed is still not enough to challenge the new monster. At this point, Darkshine also reemerges on the surface and teams up with Flashy Flash to take on Garo. But even this powerful duo is still not enough to take down Garo, as they both are easily defeated by him. Now, only Saitama remains. Saitama begins to approach Garo, but is confronted by the evil natural water, who he defeats with a single punch. Garo begins to attack Saitama with no effect, and is eventually punched by him. But to Saitama's surprise, he's able to get up from it and continue fighting. Garo then goes on to use the abandonment breathing technique that we saw earlier with Bang, and gives Saitama one of his toughest fights in the series, as he is able to land many shots on him and even dodge and evade Saitama's attacks, which surprises even him. Saitama then says he'll get serious, as he uses his serious table flip, as he literally throws the ground into the sky along with Garo. He throws Garo so high that he can no longer even see the ground. He meets Garo in the sky and they begin to further fight there, jumping throughout the rubble. In this mid-air battle, Saitama lands many strikes on Garo until the fight eventually returns to the surface. At this point, Garo appears to have evolved yet again, but into a bigger, more monsterized form. He is struck yet again by Saitama and evolves further to grow even bigger. Saitama then serious headbutts him and blows off his arm and part of his torso. Garo is immediately able to regenerate from this, showing how far his abilities have come. He evolves once again, growing wings, but seems to lose his intelligence in the process. He is struck yet again by Saitama, but this time he seems to degrade into a smaller, weaker form. Garo, who is completely exhausted and delirious, reveals what his true intentions and master plan have been this entire time. Garo intended to become an all-powerful monster in order to bring humanity together against him, in the process bringing world peace, as they would all have a single common enemy in himself. After his monologue, Garo is finally defeated by Saitama, who breaks the monster shell around him to reveal that he still has his human form. Silverfang then emerges from the rubble, revealing that he survived Homeless Emperor's carpet bombing. confronts his disciple one last time, giving him a restrained beating. A beating that Garo says reminded him of when Silverfang expelled him from his school. This could be Bang's own way of finally forgiving Garo. A Mind Mask then demands Silverfang and Saitama kill Garo to prevent him from evolving again. The two refuse, and Tario emerges to save Garo, telling the heroes that Garo saved his life many times and that he's no monster. Tario then begs Garo to run away, and in the midst of his distraction, Garo does just that, successfully escaping from the heroes as Saitama allows him to. And with that, the Monster Association saga comes to a very satisfying end, in my opinion. And of course, this is very far from the ending of the story of One Punch Man, as it still continues to this day in the webcomic. So that's pretty much it for the video today, guys. I hope you liked this one. Of course, I didn't include every single little bit of detail that goes on in this story. I kind of just tried to hit the main beats and the main plot points. And also, there's probably a lot of things that are going to change in the manga since it is an adaptation of the webcomic, including the stuff like with Drive Night and Neon, which wasn't included in this video. So expect some things to change, but more or less be the same, if that makes sense. But if you liked it, guys, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon that gives you access to a weekly Q&A, and if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day.